All right, so just to kind of get started this morning, what I want us to do is to look at the surface area of this prism. So yes, this is from our Unit 1, and these are pulled from past EOGs. So what I want you to do, if you have a calculator, you can use it. So when you see this calculator active sign, you may use your calculator. If you don't have a calculator, try to get one. I know a lot of us have them on like our phones, but learning how to use an actual calculator can be really helpful and good practice before the EOG, because on the EOG you will have to use a calculator. So it's something we're going to start working on. So would y'all give me 1 second? What just fell? Sorry, my daughter dropped her computer. Okay, so work this out. If you have a whiteboard, you can use the whiteboard and you can turn your camera on and show me. You can type your answer in our chat box. Use pieces of paper and kind of figure it out. And we're going to solve it together in a moment. But remember, our test taking strategies. Yeah, I'm going to be going over this a lot with you all because it is an important skill to have. We're going to do pink. So read the question. What is the surface area of the given prism? So we're finding surface area. I always mark up my questions. Surface area is very important because if we were finding a perimeter or something, it would be different. So we need to know this is surface area and this is a prism. So Trent, EOGs are very far away, and I don't even think our superintendent has the answer to that question yet. If the coronas doesn't go away and school's opening up and EOGs. So I don't know what's going to happen. I will say our school is staying online all year. Even if coronavirus disappears, we're going to stay, GUP, our Guilford University Prep, we're staying online. And we're going to, even next year and beyond, we're always going to have this online option because really we wanted to do this and we were working on it before coronavirus happened. We just kind of sped the process up with coronavirus. All right, so to find the surface area, we have to add up the area of each of these shapes. So I always think about when I'm finding surface area, I like to think about the types of shapes I have. So looking at this, I'm going to look at how many rectangles I have. I have a rectangle right here. I have one right here. I have one right here. That's a rectangle too. So I always do like the lateral, that kind of the sides, and I have one right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. Now they're all different sizes. So just because they're a rectangle doesn't mean they're going to have the same surface area. So I'm going to draw my 4 rectangles. So I know like we worried about like drawing nets, and that's great if you want to do it that way. But really the most important thing is that you have all your sides. Then we have how many squares. I have a square right here. That's 1 square. I should change my color so we can see it a little bit better. So you have a square right here and a square right here. So I'm going to draw 2 squares. These squares are the same size. And then we have 2 triangles. We have a triangle right here in pink and a triangle right here. I'm going to draw my 2 triangles. So I'm going to go back to my square. Or my rectangles, I mean. So my first rectangle, this first one on the top that I drew, I have to find the length times the width. So the length is 12. All of my rectangles have the same length. So I know it's going to be 12. I'm going to write 12 in all of my rectangles because I know they're all the same width, or the length, I mean. They're 12 units long. I don't know what that unit is because it doesn't tell me, but they're 12 units long. So this first rectangle, we know it's 12, and right here it tells me it's 5. So 12 by 5. Then I'm going to look at rectangle number 2, which is this one right here. And this is 12 by 6. There's a 6 right there. And then rectangle number 3, this rectangle down at the bottom, that base rectangle, is much larger than the other rectangles. It is 12 by 8. And our last kind of side rectangle right here is 6.7. So we have a decimal place there. But again, you can use your calculator for this one. So if you would calculate the surface area of our rectangles with your calculator, I'll give you a chance to do that. I hope if you are not following along with me and writing this down, that really it hurts you, because this is great practice. Because even if though you're like, oh good, I did not like learning about surface area, it was really hard for me, so I'm glad unit 1's over. Well, guess what? It's still going to be on the test, so we still need to practice. And so this is a great way to kind of go and get the extra help if you need it on unit 1. So I know that 12 times 5, when I put it in my calculator, is 60. So I'm going to write that right next to it. And 12 times 6 is 72. 12 times 8 is 96. 12 times 6.7 is 80.4. Alright, and now I'm at my rectangles. Oh, my squares, not my rectangles, excuse me. I'm going to switch over here to red. So we have a square that is 5 times 6. And they are both 5 times 6. And I know, because I know my 5s. I don't know all my multiplication tables. I'm trying to learn them even as an adult. But I know my 5s. So 5 times 6 is 30. So that's 30 and 30. So now we have to find the area of our triangles. Triangles can be tricky because it's the base times the height. Base and height, but it's 1/2. So it's critical that you remember that 1/2. That's the easy part to forget, especially when we haven't done it in a while. So our height of our triangle, looking at the height from here to here, is 6. So we're going to do 6 times, and our base of our triangle right here, we have to actually figure that out. So I know from here to here is 8, but I know that the square is 5. So 5 here. So what is the base of my triangle? How would you figure that out? So you wouldn't quite multiply it. So if this, yeah, let me see. Let me try green. So we're looking at the length of this entire thing is 8. But the square was only 5 units. So we actually have to do 8 minus 5, which is 3. So the base of our triangle is 3. So 6 times 3. And then we have to find 1/2 of that. So 6 times 3 is what? You can come off mute if you want to, if you don't want to type it in.
18.
Yeah, so 6 times 3 is 18. So what is 1/2 of 18?
4.
So 1/2 of 18 is actually 9. 9 times 9 would give, 9 times 2 would give you 18. Or 9 plus 9 would give you 18. So 9. So now we have to add all of our areas up. So we have to add the 60, the 72, the 96, the 80.4, the 30, and the 9 and the 9. So using a calculator, you can add all of those up. And what did you get? Correct. We have 386.4. That is our answer. All right, so let's keep it moving. So we're going to skip that one. All right, so for today, we're going to find the product mentally. Product means multiplication, so you're going to be multiplying. So try to do this mentally. If you have to write it down, oh, too far, that is okay, but try to do it mentally. And again, I am recording this, so if you are stuck on something as we go into the lesson, you can come back and view it. So I know if I'm multiplying a fraction times a whole number, it is the same as if that whole number was over a 1. And when you multiply fractions, do you know how to multiply fractions? We're going to be talking about that more if you don't. So when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So we'd have 1 times 21, which is 21. And then 3 times 1, which is 3. So it's really 21 divided by 3. And 21 divided by 3, I know that 3 goes into 21 7 times. So the product is 7. You could also look at it and go, okay, I know it's going to be 21 divided by 3 because that's a number 1. So using that same method, what is 1/6 times 21? Again, you can do 21 divided by 6. Correct, Savannah. It's 3.5. So if you struggle with multiplication, that is okay. What I want you to do is just to try to practice those multiplication tables. Yes, Zoe, I like how you did 7 divided by 2. That actually, if you think about it, 7, and you're dividing it in half because 3 and 6. And I said, like, you reduced your fraction to 7 over 2. But if you were to actually use long division and bring it out, you'd get 3.5. All right. Because we're short on time, I'm going to skip these bottom two. But if you already did them, it's 0.7 and 1.4. And try to keep us moving. All right. So we've been learning about ratios and tables. So we're going to use this table to help us solve for this problem. So Noah bought 4 tacos and paid $6. At this rate, how many tacos could he buy for 15? So we're going to use this table to show us an equivalent fraction or equivalent ratio. We keep hearing that word equivalent. Equivalent means equal to. So just because the numbers are different doesn't mean that they're not the same representation for the rate. So the cost of one taco is always going to be the same. So number of tacos, we have 4 tacos. This is what we know. 4 tacos. And we are going to pay $6. So we need to know how many he could buy for 15. So what I like to do is find out how much one taco is. So I am really good at dividing things in half. Like, this is just something I'm really good at. So 4, if I divide that by 2, is 2. And if I divide 6 by 2, would be 3. So 2 tacos would cost $3. And I'm going to divide that in half again. So 1 taco, well, 3 is a hard number to divide in half, but I know if I had $3 and I was splitting that between my girls, it would be $1.50. So 1 taco costs $1.50. So how many tacos can I buy for $15? So if 1 taco costs $1.50, how much can I buy for $15?
Excuse
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Then I use my calculator on my computer, and I don't have one, but it's gonna start kicking me out of the class.
Okay, well then, don't use the one on your computer. Just stay in the class and watch with us for now. So what we're going to do is you're going to divide how much money you have by the cost of the taco, which is $1.50. So 15 divided by 1.5 is what? Almost, Leo. You're really close. It's a little bit more than 9 tacos. Because 9 tacos, so 9 times 1.5, would be $13.50. Yes, Nicole?
Can I say the answer?
Yes, say the answer.
My chat box is not working.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got 10.
Correct. It is 10 tacos. We can buy 10 tacos with $15. And we divided 15 by 1.5. You could, if you struggle to remember, okay, how do I do that? You could, it takes a while. You could add up. 1 taco is $1.50. 2 tacos is, $3. 4 tacos is $6. 5 tacos, is $7.50. 8 tacos, and then just add up until you got to 15. If you have to do it that way on a test, do it that way. But you can divide 15 by 1.5, and that gives us 10 tacos. So Jada's family bought 50 tacos for a party and paid $72. Where's Jada's tacos? Were Jada's tacos the same price? So, to find this one, all we did was actually divide 6 by 4. And that gave us 1.5. 6 divided by 4. So you always do the price of something, however many it is. So movie tickets, tacos, the price over the number that you buy. Because you're dividing it up by the number that you have. So 6 divided by 4 gave us 150. So that is our rate, 150. So now we're going to do $72, because it's always the price on the top. $72 divided by 50. What is our rate for Jada? Actually, Kylie, Jada's were cheaper. So when you divide 72 by 50, I get $1.44. So for each taco, Jada paid $1.44. For each of Noah's tacos, he paid $1.50. So Jada's tacos were cheaper. You could even double check that by multiplying the 50 tacos that Jada had by Noah's price of 1.5. If Jada had paid $1.50 per taco, she would have had to pay $75, not $72. So Jada's were cheaper. So no, Noah's tacos cost $1.50 each. Jada's tacos cost $1.44 each. Alright, so same kind of problem. Lynn is paid $90 for 5 hours of work. So here we have amount earned, $90. And time worked, 5 hours. She used the following table to calculate how much she would be paid at this rate for 8 hours of work. So if you remember, we always put the money on top, so 90 divided by 5 is 18. And that is how 1 hour of work earns $18. This is how much money she gets paid per hour. So, we did 90 divided by 5. However, what I wanted to show us today is another thing that you can do is look at your hours or your unit. So not the money, but like if this was the cost per taco, it's 5. So you're going to multiply it by 1/5 or divide it by 5. So 5 times 1/5 is 1. 90 divided by 5, or 90 times 1/5 is 18. Samir, do you have a question? Or is your hand just up? Yes, Jaden, I'll slow down a little bit. I'm trying to make sure you guys I get through this before we go to Miss Brown's. So 90 times 5, or not times 5, times 1/5, or 90 divided by 5. 90 divided by 5 is 18. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So that's how we find our rate. So 1 hour of work, you get $18. So if you go and you work somewhere for 2 hours, you would have 18 times 2. However, we're looking for 8 hours. 8 hours. So we're going to multiply 1 times 8. And then 18 times 8. Because for each hour, you get $18. And there's 8 hours. And our answer is 144. So, the meaning of the 18 that appears right here is how much we get for the, I can't type on here very well, but the cost that you get per hour. So when you go and apply for a job, which you all will be doing probably in the next 5 or so years, hopefully you look at getting a job when you're like 15 to 16. I know that's what I did when I was in high school, and my daughters will do the same. And when you go and apply for a job, you will ask, how much will I get paid per hour? When I was babysitting, I got paid $5 per hour for babysitting when I was in high school. And a lot of jobs now start out about $8 per hour. Just depending on, especially for those first jobs, it's going to be minimum wage, which could even be $7.25, so $7.25 per hour. But that's what that 18 means. So Lynn gets paid $18 for every 1 hour of work. So how much would Lynn be paid for 3 hours of work? Zamir, do you have a question?
When I get older, get 15, I'm going to work at ice scrapers.
At where?
Ice scrapers.
Where's that?
I forgot, but it's an ice cream place and it's good.
Oh, I
It's
need
like
to go. I need to
homemade.
look that up. That would be an awesome place to work. I would love to work in an ice cream shop. That would be a great first job.
And guess what? And they have they show you how to make the ice cream. It'll be cool. You'll see. As you go there, it's fun.
So Zamir, if you were working at the ice cream shop and you got paid $18 per hour, how much would you get paid in 3 hours of work? So you're going to multiply that 18 times 3. It's 18 hours and you work for 3 hours. How much would that be?
Multiply. What is it that we? That would be
Jaden and Zoe are helping you out in the chat box if you're stuck.
okay. I write it in the chat.
All right. Sounds good. Write it in the chat. So Jaden and Zoe are both saying $54. That is also what I got when I multiplied 3 times 18. Now, what about, this one's a little bit tricky. 2.1 hours of work. So you're going to have 2.1 hours of work. And you get $18 for every 2.1 hours of work. What would you have? My paycheck before taxes, because y'all will learn all about taxes. That's actually what we'll be talking about in our next unit. It's going to be $37. So $37.80. Your chat's not working?
No, I said, what are taxes for?
So taxes are something that comes out of your paycheck, but it's also, so if you go to the store and you're buying things like your groceries or a toy, and it says like $5.99. So I'm going to buy something that's $5.99. I go up to the register and they ring it up. I'm going to pay more than $5.99. Right? So I would end up paying, I'm going to calculate that real quick. I'd end up paying about $6.40 for something that was $5.99. And that is because we have a 7% tax rate. And the reason is that those taxes go to pay for things like our schools, our roads, our police officers, our teachers, all the public services that we have. The reason you can drive on a road is because you pay taxes. So you pay taxes from your paychecks, and you pay taxes when you buy things. But I know we're running short on time. I'm going to try to keep this moving because you guys have 15 minutes before Miss Brown. All right. So, again, I'm going to post this video if you need to go back. But understanding, like, using that table of finding that rate of how much one item is going to let you be able to multiply out to find out the cost of anything else, or how much you would earn per 1 hour of work. So remember, we can multiply a whole number by a unit fraction to get a smaller number. So we can multiply like 18 times 1/5 to get that smaller number. So for your cool down today, we're going to be talking about bagels. A shop sells bagels for $5 per dozen. You can use the table to answer the question. So you can use this, and you can draw this out on a piece of paper and just type up the answers to 1 and 2, or you can upload your picture. So I'm not going to do this for you because I want to see if you can do it. I do highly recommend that before you go do the cool down, really quick, I want to show you. In math, let me pull this over here. So in math today, oops. Well, I want to show you on our home screen before I jump to math. I've switched this up. So if you have missing assignments from quarter 1, I've taken that away. You're not going to do any quarter 1 assignments. I need us moving forward on quarter 2. I sent out a separate email for anyone that needed to do a packet of work in order to pull up your first quarter grade. I think most of you were okay that are in here. So I sent out that separate email. But as we're working through, if you go check your grades by clicking right here, and you notice that you have a 0 or a missing assignment, if you come click on quarter 2 assignments, I have each week, I'm going to add our lessons. This is our graded assignments. These go into the grade book. So, and they're going to match. So like, when you look in Power School, if like you know 10/20 Unit 2 Lesson 12 had a 0, you would come back and click on that. All right, so for our problem today, I'm going to post this recording so that you can watch it again if you need to. So you have come to our live lesson. Thank you for being here. Now you're going to complete the practice problems. When you do the practice problems, make sure you always use, it doesn't have to be your Guilford County email address, but it needs to be the same email address. Your first and last name. So you're going to go through and solve these. When you're done, I'm just going to put random numbers in here so I can show you what it looks like when it's wrong. Oh, I have to put my email in too. So. When you hit submit, always hit this view accuracy, and then you see this edit your response. That is how you can edit to change your answer. So hit view accuracy. And so if it's red, you need to fix it. I tell you the correct answer, but what I really want you to do is to watch the videos that are posted in here, because this works out the problem. This is only a 2-minute video. So if you did not know how to get this, by watching this video, you're getting tutored. You're getting that direct help that you need. So, this kind of shows you how you can find the answer. Don't just copy the answers and go fix it. Watch the video so you know how to get it right on our quiz or our test. The point of this is for you to grow. So once you've gone through, you figured it out, go back in here and hit edit. What was that one? It was 9.6. Put it in, fix all of them, and then re-hit your submit button. View your accuracy again. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot, and make sure that they're all green. Switch. Oh, so it's 9.60. So if you make a mistake like that, I have to put the 0, go in, hit it, view your accuracy again. So until it turns green, it's wrong. This is why, once you do all this, when you come back in here and you do your cooldown, which we just kind of talked about, and you answer this is really where most of your points are coming from. So again, we have a rubric. Your practice problems, you completed all problems and made your corrections, you get all 10 points. The cooldown is based on your understanding. So if you're showing me you have a complete understanding, you get 20 points. If you're showing me you have a pretty strong understanding, but maybe you're missing something, you'd get 18 points. If you have a partial understanding, you'd get 15 points. If you get 10 or 5, so if you're not getting a good score here, then you need to go back and redo it by watching, doing the practice problems or watching our live session. Does that make sense to everyone? So Miss Brown, you have 10 minutes until Miss Brown's lesson.